Alright, welcome to another brew called Food Chain Elves. Found this on TC Decks, and I will link you the deck list in the description. In solo mode this deck was pretty explosive, but let's see how it will play us out with interaction. This is safe keep, so turn 3 we can start with our combo, maybe earlier if we find a Quirion Ranger. Okay, Lanovives is fine. As I tested the deck, it was so broken with Hypnox turn 2 pretty common, but okay, he's on a wild brew here. I'm not really sure what we're seeing here. So I think, I'm not sure if we should start right now, because we have a backup food chain. And with food chain you can just exile a creature to get X+1 mana. You can only spend it on creatures. We can go on 2. If we play this, we can go on 3. I really want to try this, but it might be wrong. But it's a test game, so hope you're not mad if this does not work out. So we will exile this. I'm a bit scared of him having interaction next turn, so I try to make a really explosive start here. The first empath will go for a golem. Okay, take a Brass here right there. Then we exile. It would be great if we find a deranged hermit. Get the messenger down. Hopefully, if we don't find any elf here, we whiff, but let's take the risk. Okay, 2 elves. Not the greatest ones, but it should be enough to get the chain going, the food chain going. So exile this for a Llanowar Elf. Let's jump to 6 mana. Get down the golem. Ask for some more elves here. Okay. These are some elves, but I think the chain is stopping soon. So now I need to think, do I want to get the 4 elves, the 3 elves down here, hope that the Acolyte finds something, or do I want this, but this pumps the Priest of Titania too? Not sure. Let's try to move on. The problem is that our elves are pumping his own elves, so or giving him a mana advantage here. So we really need to find something here. No! Yeah, we needed another golem or a card like the messenger. Okay, need to ship the turn here. I mean, it was a lot of spells. Really hope to find something. Even the empath would have been great, so we could take a route to get Hypnox and make him discard his whole hand. So turn to Hypnox. This will net at least 4 mana now. Ah, okay. That's sweet. So I want to pay for this, because we can even sacrifice it into the food chain. Okay, that's not great. Not going to lie, but We need to try to... Okay, he can start bouncing with the Trading Rider, but this just will cost us 3 mana a turn. I mean, from this spot, it should be very tough to win if we do not get another Golem or Messenger. We really have nothing in hand here, because a second food chain won't get you anywhere. And the forest is not great either, because we have the Quirion Ranger. Okay, Hermit is fine. Not super great, but that's not a great target for him to bounce. I don't know if he has any great target. Maybe he will go for the food chain. I mean, it's still a okayish turn 4, but I was so hyped up from our turn 2 food chain. But as I told you, it was a bit risky. So no bad feelings there. He's probably going to bounce a squirrel or food chain, maybe forest. Forest, probably not. Ranger, okay. I'm not sure. I think I want to pay for the Hermit if I find a Wirewood Symbiote. Something like this. Okay, this is too much for us. With the addition of his Priest of Titania making so much mana, so good game. That's a dangerous matchup, because our elves are really helping his elves. But I really like the turn 2. So what do we want here? Masticore is impressive. He's probably on build with survival. But I still want to be explosive. Maybe I want to bring these two in. Not a fan of the Ancient here. Masticore is great. Maybe the Herald is not the right thing then. Nishoba is not great, because he can just bounce it. Not sure if I want to have Hypnox around. I just cut one Hermit here. And let's try again. Oh, this deck is fun. But I think if it is so broken like in my solo games, it would have been played in a very wide way. This is fine. Because we have the card advantage with the Messenger. Would be great if we draw a Wirewood Symbiote sooner or later. But this far, we will be the first one with the active Priest of Titania. Plus the card advantage here. I'm not sure why the deck builder is running 2 random fetch lands. Maybe to reshuffle the stacked cards. And the Quirion Ranger is great. Could be that he has some Fire and Ice in sideboard. I'm not sure about it. Or him having a Goblin Sharpshooter would be a disaster for us. But if we untap with this, could be fine. I really like... Oh, that's great. Snacking my priest here. I really like the addition of Priest of Titania in his build. I want to get the forest down, because I want to attack with the Finton Elves. But he will have a really explosive turn probably. Ooh, that was a whiff. Not great. Yeah, I don't want to push his mana too much. So I don't want to play the Quirion Ranger. This was a great exchange for him. Just random 3/3 flyer versus 4 mana creature. I mean, without this exchange, we would have been in a great place. Of course, we could have played the Deranged Hermit, I guess. Yeah, we could with the Quirion Ranger. Yeah, but I think there's still some space to explore the Food Chain Elves deck small. It has some very great plays. Acolyte or Hermit. I think Hermit has a higher impact here. Yeah, let's try Hermit. Oh, this is great. Very cool deck again. Maybe I need to bring the Quirion Ranger down here now, even if he gets 1 mana more from that, but I don't think it's a great difference from getting 6 or 5 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 6 is 6 or 7. 6 or 5, yeah. It's not a great difference, I think. Because having just green here could be still a bottleneck if he does not have enough mana to provide for casting the other colors. Yeah, this was brutal. I think Gilded Drake is in general massively underplayed in the format, but this is mainly due to his price tag. I think it's 150 euro. And it's a bit much for playing around. I own one from my collection of Urza Saga, at least 160 euro. Yeah, that's a lot. But it's a great card, even in the decks where they can bounce it again with Waterfront Bouncer or Tradewind Rider. And sometimes it's just enough if you play it like this and exchange it against the creature, which gains you 15 mana in the course of the play, and it's taking the 15 mana from your opponent. But even if you steal a Terravow with it, you might get ahead in the game really quick. And the other thing is that if there's a game 3 and you know about the Gilded Drake in the opponent's deck, and if it's a survival build, you really need to think about it for every move you make, because it can backfire pretty quickly. Just imagine if we draw a Masticore again, we are just so done. Yeah, Vergluter is fine for me. Okay, Food Chain does nothing for us. Now, let's try the Acolyte. If he has another counterspell for that, he might go for it. But I'm not sure. Has to be a Arcane Denial then, or Power Sink. Otherwise, he can't fetch for blue with this. Ah, Arcane Denial. Okay. Really wondering about this, but I think it's not a bad exchange for him. Because he can just... So he's permitting one draw here, and this replays itself. So it's more or less a good trade or a fair trade. Let's untap this. Wild Symbit would be great. And the Arcane Denial is great because he can play it in these situations. I could pay for Mana Leak and he couldn't cast a card like Counterspell. So plus he can choose what to counter with that and just use it if he is ahead in the game and just needs to counter key spells. We could see Merfolk providing some card advantage together with Squeegoblin Naboo. Let me see this redraw here. Okay, that's great. If we resolve the Empath, we could go for Hypnox. But I think this might be too greedy. Okay, Survival will probably go for Musty Core or Waterfront Bouncer or Tradewind Rider with Squee in between. Let's see. Anger. Okay. The good thing is if we just go for Anger, Tradewind Rider, and he does not bounce the Food Chain first, we can exile the Gilded Drake in response. But it's still a tough position to be in. Everything made possible by Priest of Titania. Okay, that's brutal. But we have a small interaction here. You will see. So this will get just one creature first, because we are going to exile it in response. And so he does not see any dice trigger. And this will be tapped for a second. That's dangerous. Okay, we do not have any haste effects in the deck, so I think we can attack first. Naturalize on Food Chain, that's brutal. I don't think we can recover from that. Okay. If he would play that in reverse, we have lost our whole board. That's not a great place to be in. 1, 2, 3. So he needs to untap this somehow, but I think he has the ability to do it. Just This one plus Naturalize is probably enough for kill us. So I try to let me think what we can do here. Let's take a Brass Herald and let's play the Priest. And we can just attack with the Gilded Rake. Otherwise, we would trigger a die. He would get a die trigger, and so he has to take the route of going for Trade Wind Rider, bouncing the Sharpshooter, untapping the Sharpshooter. If he does not have own Quirion Rangers. Yeah, without him having exactly Naturalized there, we would have been in a great position. Of course, we could make a huge road with some Heralds or even play Hypnox. I mean, Hypnox wouldn't be the answer here for everything, but because he would have Squee again in his upkeep from survival. I think he will go for Trade Wind Rider, bounce his own Sharpshooter, if he does not have a Quirion Ranger. Ah, he had the Ranger, okay. We still have one shot with... I tried for some more. I will scoop this up. The problem is he can wipe my whole board here. And even if we attack with a Gilded Rake, he can just block with Birds of Paradise and rebind them from Genesis. So great match. Thanks for the game, Rain. And hope you enjoyed the video.